Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a comprehensive masterclass on the professional threading procedure. Whether you're an aspiring beauty therapist or just kind of fascinated by the precise mechanics behind these popular salon techniques, we are going to break down exactly how this method of hair removal works, step by step, using the official training materials. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the basics of threading, the required tools and prep, the specific techniques for both eyebrow and upper lip threading, and finally, precautions and proper aftercare. All right, let's get right into Section 1, Basics of Threading. So, what exactly is threading? At its core, it's a temporary hair removal method, but unlike shaving or using depilatory creams, it is incredibly precise. We're mostly talking about facial areas here. Shaping eyebrows perfectly, or clearing the upper lip, sides of the face, chin, and jawline. It pulls this off by catching and plucking multiple hairs all at once. And the best part? It's completely free of any chemical agents.
The sheer number of benefits is honestly pretty impressive. Compared to other methods, threading is widely considered less painful and way more efficient because, again, you're grabbing multiple hairs with every single movement. And because you aren't using harsh waxes or bleaches, it's a fantastic option for a wider variety of skin types. Plus, since it pulls the hair entirely out from the root, over time that hair actually grows back finer and slower. And it doesn't even matter if the hair is short, long, fine, or coarse, a good thread can grip the whole shebang.
Moving right along to Section 2, Required Tools in Prep. Okay, so your most vital tool is obviously high-quality cotton thread. But here's the kicker. The thickness is literally everything. You absolutely must select a thin, fine cotton thread. Why? Because a thin thread can get right down to the base and effectively grip the hair at its root. If you use a thick thread, it simply won't grip successfully. You'll end up just tugging at your client's skin without actually removing the follicle, which is definitely not what we want.
As for the length of that thread, the sweet spot is right between 24 to 30 inches. Now, if you're a beginner, you'll definitely want to stick to the shorter side of that range. Working with a smaller loop just gives you so much more control while you're getting the hang of the hand movements. Then, as you build up your confidence and dexterity, you can seamlessly transition to using a longer thread. Now, before you even think about touching the thread to the skin, you've got to prep your client. First, protect their head hair by wrapping it up securely. Trust me, you do not want to accidentally snag their hairline during this process. Hygiene is also a huge deal here, so thoroughly wash your hands and throw on some protective gloves. Next, cleanse the specific treatment area with a mild liquid antiseptic and let it dry completely. And here is the absolute golden rule. Avoid applying any creams or heavy lotions before threading. Creams leave a slick residue on the hair, making it super slick and pretty much destroying the gripping power of your thread.
All right, let's dive into Section 3, Eyebrow Threading Technique.
This is the setup phase, where we literally build a mechanical tool out of a simple piece of string. Step 1. Knot the ends of your 24 to 30-inch thread together to form a continuous loop. Step 2. Slip your forefingers, middle fingers, and thumbs through each end of the loop to create a cat's cradle hold. You know, just like the old childhood game. Step 3 is where the magic happens. Twist the loop at one end about a dozen times. Finally, coax that twisted section right into the center of the loop, making sure to keep the knot out of the way near your fingers so it doesn't snag. Take a look at this setup in action. You've got the hands in the cat's cradle position and that tight twist right in the middle. The way you use this is absolutely brilliant. You place the upper end of the twist just under the unwanted hair, and then you spread your lower fingers apart. That spreading action forces the twisted section to roll upward. As it rolls, it acts like a rapid-fire tweezer, entrapping, snagging, and plucking the hairs right out by the root. Then, you just spread the upper fingers to shift the twist back down, drop the plucked hair, and repeat.
Now, if you've ever watched a pro do this, it looks like an absolute blur. That's because an expert therapist moves their fingers incredibly quickly. We're talking about an execution pace of one plucking movement every 40th of a second. It takes a ton of practice to build up that kind of muscle memory and speed while still maintaining perfect precision over the brow shape. Also, as that twist fills up with hair, it naturally slows down, so you'll need to either twist a new part of the loop or just grab a fresh piece of thread entirely.
Shifting gears now, let's look at Section 4, Upper Lip Threading Technique.
The upper lip is a whole different ballgame because the skin there is much softer and tends to be a bit more oily. So step 1, apply a bit of talcum powder directly to the upper lip to absorb those oils and guarantee a clean grip. Step 2 is a team effort. Have the client place their tongue under their lip. This pushes the lip out and tightens the skin, creating a nice, firm, flat surface for you to work on. For the thread, you'll want a piece about 2 feet long, but this time you only wind the center around 10 times.
Notice how different the physical method is here. Unlike the continuous loop we used for eyebrows, for the upper lip, the thread is actually left open. You hold one end securely in your mouth and the other end in your hand. I know it might look a little unusual, but it serves as the perfect anchor. By anchoring it in your mouth, your free hand can easily slide the wound-up portion back and forth across the upper lip. As that twisted center moves forward and backward, it lifts those hairs right from the root and plucks them clean out.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 5, Precautions and Proper Aftercare.
Before you even pick up that thread for an appointment, you have to visually assess the client's skin. You really need to ask yourself, based on what I'm seeing right now, should we avoid this procedure entirely today?
The absolutely crucial point here is recognizing contraindications. You must never, ever thread over skin eruptions, pimples, or active acne. The friction and pulling will severely irritate the skin, and worse, it can spread bacteria around the face. Also, keep in mind that while threading is 100% chemical-free, doing it too frequently on the exact same area can still cause irritation. And if your client has highly sensitive skin, just give them a heads up that they might develop a bit of temporary redness or a light rash from the mechanical friction. To wrap up a successful session and nip any of that redness or sensitivity in the bud, you always want to provide immediate aftercare. Once you're done and the stray hairs are brushed away, apply a soothing lotion or a gentle astringent. The official training actually recommends using a cooling zinc ointment or honestly just rubbing a simple ice cube over the treated area. It works wonders to calm the skin and close up those pores.
And there you have it. You now know the precise tools required, right down to the exact length and thickness of the cotton. You understand the complex mechanics of the cat's cradle and the twisted snag, and you're armed with the strict safety protocols needed to protect your client's skin. Grasping the theory is a massive first step toward mastering this highly sought-after salon skill. So the only question left for you is, are you ready to start practicing? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and keep learning.